To be very honest, I am clueless. How will I be doing this guy? I didn't want to do it officially, and I was low-key even, slightly ashamed of it also. So this is something that I feel have worked out the best for us. But before I do that, I should know the concept behind it. I should know what I want. I should know how does this whole thing works. Like,
Hello and welcome to our podcast, guys. Today we have Sweta Gupta with us. Shweta, welcome to our podcast.
thank you so much, Ayush. So excited to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Why don't we start with basic introduction, Shweta? Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the TG Art?
All right. So I'm actually from the video producer background, wherein I have I started my career with events and then landed doing managing YouTube channels and producing digital ads for various clients. That happened because I was a theater student, so I figured early on in life that uh, I have to do business, that I knew, but at the same time, I knew that it has to be, something creative, uh, which is why, I tried event industry. It didn't work out for me, to be very honest. And thankfully, I landed the job at a video production house. And that's how my journey of, this creative journey started, like proper career wise. And eventually, 1 year down the line, I was fortunate enough to open my own video production company with a fellow friend who is a filmmaker. While that was happening, at the same time, I knew that, like I wanted to, like I felt stable enough in my life in all sense and wanted to start another business. So I came up with the idea of the Good Road because us time pe, I don't know if you remember, but us time pe wo makeup subscriptions and skincare subscriptions wali cheese was very in with sugar and fab bag and all of that. So those were monthly subscriptions, right? Which meant that you pay for say 3 months in a row or 6 months in a row or an annual subscription, and then you get a goodie bag every month, which made you feel that excitement that, oh, what am I going to receive this month? So I subscribed to I guess fab bag, and the whole idea of it, I just loved it. I was like, this is amazing because we spend so much money on other stuff, but this is something that actually excites. The whole sense of oh, what's going to come, and then using it. Although at the end of say 3 months, I was like, dude, no, this is so much of wastage. Like, what am I going to do with all of this stuff? Like, I'm not even big on makeup. What am I going to do about this? But at the end of the day, that's how my idea brewed, that why do we just have makeup subscriptions? Why not a lifestyle subscription sort of a thing, wherein we get a package that can be used in various sense. Like there could be a stationery product, there could be a diary in it, there could be one makeup stuff, there could be a candle, something that I can use as decor in my house, or a mug, mix of these things. Like, why not a lifestyle box instead of just makeup or skincare box? That's how the idea came into being. I knew I won't be able to do it alone for sure because I was already running a full time business. So I asked my sister. So that time she was working with my dad's company as in the finance department. So I just asked her. Obviously, it's not creative, it's not fun, and she too is from that background. And thankfully, she came on board. She agreed to do this. So both of us, we you know elaborated this, like how do we want to do this. But to be very honest, uh, we were two nutheads going in some unknown direction. We didn't know where did we want to take this. We just knew that it has to be a box, it has to be a mix of you know different products from different categories, but we didn't know what the business model would be like, where will we procure the stuff from, what will we do about the packaging, nothing. So what we did was that the entire, so 2018 में तो ये idea आया था and we were just brewing it. 2019 we spent the entire year creating our website, because I knew that if I want to do this, I want to do this the right way. So the entire year we were doing the website bit, which didn't work out very well and all. So all in all, it was trial and error, and we finally landed with the Good Road, which today, thankfully, we have clear directions about, which is a gifting company. And the idea behind gifting is not just to say that it's a gifting company. So what we are trying to do is we're trying to communicate the sender's feelings, because say if I have to send a gift to a friend who's living in Canada, right? I don't just want to send something which is, मुझे काम खत्म करना है अपना. I want to
Right.
send something which makes sense to the occasion, which makes sense to the person who's receiving it, and also communicates how I'm feeling, the effort that I've put in the right possible way to the receiver. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to eliminate useless gifting. We do not promote any sort of, even a single product which is not ours. We do not promote products like, which doesn't make sense to the receiver. Like everything has to make sense. And at the same time, packaging is something that we manufacture in house. So what we have tried doing differently is that we work with local karigars, local artists. They have beautiful, understanding of creating a box. Like literally, I'll tell you, it's so easy to sit down with, these karigars around, and they just understand you. Like the thing, तो आपने सोच लिया है दिमाग में कि मुझे ऐसा कुछ चाहिए, and they bring that to life, right? They understand the material MDF that we use. So all in all, packaging is something that we were sure that we wanted to keep, which is long lasting, not something that we did not want to create more wastage with packaging. So we do not deal in boxes in copper material, star material, and those cheaper material, plastic and all of that. We deal in MDF material, which has good quality fabric on it, and it will receive, when it's received, the joy is something else, because each package is so beautifully handcrafted, and the receiver would just know, like once you hold our package, they just know that it's going to last you a lifetime. So that's what we're trying to do with gifting here: meaningful products with everlasting packaging. That's how we brewed gifting to this sense.
Wonderful, wonderful. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the Good Road first?
Awesome. So the Good Road is a gifting company. Started in 2019, but officially launched in 2020. We ship pan India, and we do all sorts of gifting, wherein the client or the customer just have to let us know what the occasion is and what they're looking for, and we curate a beautiful gift hamper for them with different products of their liking, and with the packaging. So we do have a website wherein it allows customers to, so we're trying to bring gifting to the e-commerce front, wherein we've created this tool on the website which allows anybody to, design their own hamper in 3 simple steps. Step 1 is to select the product. Step 2 is to select the packaging. Step 3 is to choose a card of your liking, and just choose to fill in, a message or not. And we ship pan India, both express and standard delivery. So that's what the Good Road is all about. In a nutshell, it's fully a gifting company. You can get it customized. You can, choose your own products, send us your own products in case you just would like to, package it. So yeah, that's what the Good Road is.
So you're sharing experiences with those curated boxes, right? More on the experience part. Right. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Before the Good Road, have you started anything else?
I did. So Good Road is pretty new in my career. I started my career with, so I did theater in college, which is why I knew that I wanted to do something creative eventually. I started my hands at event industry. It didn't really work out for me. I just didn't like the way it works here in the country. It wasn't for me. Thankfully, I landed a job at a video production house. They had multiple YouTube channels, and they were producing digital ads for various clients. So I started my journey with video production, and finally ended up becoming a video producer myself, wherein I opened my own company with the same partners. And yeah, we made a bunch of digital ads and corporate films, many that you might have seen as well. And that's how, in between, when I felt pretty stable, I asked my sister if she wants to do this with me, and then we started the Good Road. So essentially, I'm still a video producer and a co-founder of the Good Road now.
Wonderful, wonderful. So how did you start your journey with the Good Road?
All right. So it's a long one. Back in, I think, 2016 or 2017, 2017 actually. So this subscription models were, really in, like skincare subscription, beauty subscription. So we had Fabbag and Sugar also, I believe. So I was a subscriber of Fabbag, which was a mix of skincare and makeup subscriptions, which meant that, you would get a goodie bag full of surprises each month. Like, depends on, how much you've subscribed to. Like, I had a 3-month subscription, and I realized the joy of receiving that goodie bag every month, where you don't know what you're going to receive, is something else altogether. Like, it was a lot of fun. But by the end of 3 months, I realized that, it's too much of wastage. Like, for someone like me who doesn't use as much makeup, I didn't know what to, like, it didn't make sense for me to keep subscribing to it for, annually or more than that, which is why I believe that could be one of the reasons why this model and this company is not operational now. So the idea came from there, wherein why not we do a lifestyle subscription box, which has a bunch of things, like from stationery to, say, a home decor stuff, to a personal use ke liye kuch, say, a coloring book, or a candle. Why don't we do something which is a mix of all of these things and not just one directional? This way it could be gifted to someone else also, it could be kept and utilized at its max also. So that's how the Good Road came into being. I spoke with my sister because I think she was also a subscriber to one of these things, and she was really excited because she also felt, you know the wastage that it was creating, first of all, and second of all, obviously, the lack of multiple things that you can use. So that's how the Good Road came into being. We were discussing this, but obviously our heads weren't in the right direction. And we kept on refining it. And that's how we've landed with properly a gifting company and not a subscription company, because eventually we understood the business world and subscription models were not really working out, which is why we don't have any today. So thankfully, we didn't give it up in between and led it to become a gifting company.
Right, right. So how were your products initially?
Oh, really bad. So you won't believe. So we literally, the perks of living in Delhi is that, you have so much access to so much stuff, like from handicraft to, having wholesale markets here and everything, right? So as much as we figured out the products part, because, we had that creative knack in us, we didn't figure out the business part of it, that, how much does the customers really want this stuff. So what happened was, initially, to test out, if this is something that will be liked by people, we got some boxes made. Not some, we got 800 boxes made. We sourced the products, and we shipped it to our friends and family pan India. So, to just to test as to, what's the reaction, because we didn't know anything. Like, literally, I have no one in my family still who does e-commerce gifting, who does e-commerce, generally e-commerce. So I didn't know the concept of, डिलीवरी क्या होती है, मुझे नहीं पता था. मतलब मैं तो खुद वीडियो प्रोडक्शन के बैकग्राउंड से हूँ, सो आई डिडंट नो a dime about how delivery happens, what does it take to create a package, what all is required. To be very honest, in all honesty, not bragging it, we have learned everything in our own way, and that way has been good. Like, we've had massive trial and errors where we've lost money. We have, created so much wastage, so much mehnat has gone to waste. But all of this has been a self-taught journey, where, so the first package that we'd shipped was essentially a Diwali themed package. to our friends and family. Every package, you wouldn't believe, every package got received fully damaged. Fully
Oh.
damaged. The candles inside it, fully damaged. I think we had some, I don't remember it clearly now. I think we had some chocolates or something, and we were putting, so there's this base, right? Those shredded paper. So we were putting some scents on it, and the scents got mixed with the chocolates, and the chocolates also went bad. It was just a massacre, to be very honest. So it was a bad experience. And but we took notes from each and every one as to, आपके में क्या खराब था, ये क्या था, वो क्या था. अच्छा, so this place is far away, so this happened. What happened to the box, and what was the feeling of the receiver, and everything. And yes, thankfully the journey has just been good, and not we've not been going backwards from there.
Right. Amazing. Amazing. So from there to till now, how many times have your product, how many times have you pivoted?
In the sense that we don't want to do this.
In a sense, like, okay, this new thing should be added, or this thing, you know, packaging is changing.
I think we still do.
Yeah.
We still do. Yeah. Because, there's so much technology that's coming, which is great. Like, there's a alternative for bubble wraps now, which is brilliant, right? Because earlier in the days, as much as, Shruti is my business partner and my sister, we were very sure of not creating wastage. That was the whole idea behind it, right? So we wanted to minimize on the packaging material as well. So with new packaging coming, literally say, every year or every 6 months, you are enticed to try it, and for the better, right? Like if there's an alternative for bubble wrap, why not? Like I think bubble wrap is the only packaging material which has not been able to be, उसका alternative नहीं मिला है अभी तक. Like full, like bubble wrap does a great job, but at the end of the day, it's plastic, right? So if any e-commerce person would want to minimize this as much as possible. So we do keep trying our hands with different things, but in a larger scale, I think we can be called as experts now, because we know what it takes to send a material or a package from one place to another, because now we understand the science behind it. Like if there's space between two products, or if there's space with like in the box, or सिर्फ एक product रख रहे हैं तो वो टूटेगा because वो हिलेगा. So like understanding that there shouldn't be any space, and how to fill those gaps, and how to create each hamper. Like we literally make space for with our hands for each products in the package. So now we understand the science behind it. But yes, like there's no harm in trying new stuff that's coming every day, so that we use as less plastic as possible.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful. So what was the strategy that you used to get initial customers?
All right. So I wanted to reach out to my rich network.
Okay.
So what I did was, so there was this fellow, I would say a mentor in the video production world only. So I requested him. So HCL was his client, and HCL was near to our office also. So earlier our office was in Noida, and HCL का office भी Noida में था. And Vivek Bhaiya, his contact was HCL, like contact bhi nahi, like he just does regular stuff for him, right? In the video production line. So they had an event coming up, and Vivek Bhaiya happened to pitch us that so these are the guys, they're doing gifting and it's amazing and all of that. And since your event is coming up, so Vivek Bhaiya was I'm so sorry. Vivek Bhaiya was already covering the event. So he happened to pitch us, and they were like, sure, we would be interested. And that's how we got our first ever client, which was HCL. That was a good start. That was a good booster as well. But at the same time, we knew that nobody is going to give us work just on the basis of saying that oh, we are a gifting company. We have no portfolio to show. We had nothing to show, right? So we made sure to But I knew that as a business, I have to invest in something, I have to show something, जिसके बेसिस पे मुझे रिटेल या बल्क ऑर्डर मिलेगा. अगर मेरे पास कुछ दिखाने के लिए नहीं है, तो why would somebody even consider us a, you know, a gifting company? And at that time our website was still in the making, so I couldn't even show my website. So we anyway had you know, pictures and content clicked for the website. So I made this entire catalog sort of a thing, wherein, so we made sure that we get the photography bit done and videography bit done, because I think iske bina kuch bhi nahi hai. Like, you cannot start you can start practically nothing without having a portfolio. You make your portfolio with time. Even now I feel कि अच्छा मैंने ये category cover नहीं की है, तो मैं इसकी picture कहाँ से लाऊं? You have to click it yourself, right? Like, we can do this. So that's what we did. We clicked some pictures, we created a full catalog for them, and हमने उनको भेजा, and thankfully that's how we landed you know, with our first ever client, which was HCL. But all with the grace of, you know, having a good network of friends and family.
Right. And after that, how did you come up with your first 10 or first 100 customers?
Actually, sometimes I do think about it, that, you know, so many people, this is a question that's been asked by fellow gifting businesses as well, right? Like, how did you land this client? How did you land that client? To be very honest, I am clueless. How will I land this client?
Okay.
So if I have to retrieve and think about it, I think there are some of the things that we might have done right, for sure, which has worked out for the best for us. Number one is being a video producer. From the very beginning, I knew, like, I would bring in that part. Since I've managed three YouTube channels, right? I understood the power of content making. So this is something, even when the company didn't have money, we made sure that we saved money, we bargained, we did whatever we could, never compromised on our product photography, never compromised on the quality of our content. Because I knew, अगर मैं शुरू से ही ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट करूंगी ना कि सस्ता काम है, बेकार काम है, तो वो मुझे वैसे ही परसीव किया जाएगा. Like, I cannot change that overnight. It will be a long journey. So I knew that, ठीक है, I have lesser money, I can take favors and all of that, but I knew that product photography is something which has to be done right, which has to be done in a creative way, not copy paste. Like, a lot of people are still doing this. Like, they just pick our concepts or somebody else's concepts and they just create that picture, right? We didn't want to do that. Secondly, we wanted to use those photos. मैं अपने पास रख के क्या करूँगी उन photos का? Like, it's useless, right? So I knew that I have to utilize those photos in different platforms. So this is also something that might have worked out for us, because we used, like, we were really active on Instagram, Pinterest, you know, different platforms. Like, you won't believe I'm very active on WhatsApp stories also. So, and I've gotten like at least 25 orders till date from just my personal WhatsApp stories.
Okay.
It's all about, yeah, just posting stuff. So this is something that I feel have worked out the best for us, because after HCL was pure, you know, a friend helping out a friend, right? उसके बाद majorly जो भी clients हमने land किए हैं, that is with the power of social media, that is with the power of content making, and, you know, having something to show. Just because we invested some money at the start of our business when we didn't have much money, that's how, you know, I think that worked out the best for us, and that's how we landed these amazing clients, because I'm sure most of them have come through our Instagram, and I'm like utterly grateful.
So for the last 2-3 years, how many clients have you catered to?
So officially, officially we began in 2020, just after the first phase of lockdown. The good road was always there. Like, we had created those photos, we had done HCL, but that was it. I didn't want to do it officially, and I was low-key even, you know, slightly ashamed of it also, because, not ashamed, like, I didn't want to call it my brand. Like I didn't want to, tell everybody that, oh, I'm doing this, just because I didn't have a website. So I don't know how did this come in my mind that, you know, website nahi hona is because I didn't want to do Instagram business. That
Mhm.
that was my mindset from the very beginning. I didn't want to do Instagram business. So I wasn't fully utilizing, my network and everything itne time se. So officially we began in 2020 because my website was done and ready, because that could be, another topic altogether. But we landed Shopify, and that's how we began our journey exactly 2 years ago. So all in all, we have done, we've worked with almost 60 to 70, in between 60 to 70 clients.
Wonderful, wonderful. And initially, it was just for corporates or for personal gifting as well?
Initially, it was for personal gifting more, because corporate का ना मुझे पता नहीं था how do I reach them, and I knew that I have to do something specially for corporate to
Mhm.
land corporate clients. And to be very honest, from the very beginning, I wanted to do wedding more.
Mhm.
Uh, but I think wedding is the least uh, focus of ours currently. It's
Okay.
full on corporate, it's full on retail, it's full on, bridesmaid and all that. We're not doing proper wedding gifting because, like, we can talk about it later. But yeah, like, initially it was retail for sure, because अच्छा भी है that I knew that in my head and didn't pakao all those, dreams and all of that, because I knew that we have to work more, like we have to showcase more to land corporate clients. But
Yeah.
we have been lucky that we have gotten chances uh, by clients ki acha you haven't done this pehle chalo do it for me, and that's how we've built this portfolio. Like, we are eternally grateful for why that's happening. I'm still figuring out as to why that happened. In case anybody can help me see that, I'll be great. I'll be great.
सो यू मेंशन्ड कि आपको पहले नहीं आइडिया था कि कैसे कॉर्पोरेट क्लाइंट्स लैंड करना है, बट नाउ यू हैव लैंडेड अ कपल, सो हाउ डिड यू डू इट?
So I think it came with, just that वो boost मिल जाता है ना कि अच्छा आ रहे हैं corporate clients, so we must be doing something right. And then we eventually kept on building our portfolio, and then I figured कि अच्छा, this is a category that we haven't done. Why not we create a hamper खुद से in this category, put it on the website, right? And it's a journey even now. Like, we keep making changes on the website. So we created this separate tool on the website itself, wherein, we've catered to different categories in the corporate segment. So we started creating hampers on our own, and we had a good database, and then we just started sending, catalogs and emails to people, and उससे शायद इतने कन्वर्ट नहीं हुए होंगे, बट आई डू हैव रियलाइज दैट पीपल कीप अ चेक, बहुत कम लोग हमें स्पैम में डालते हैं, और बहुत बहुत कम लोग इरिटेट होते हैं, अरे क्यों भेजते हैं, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. सो वी ट्राई टू कीप एवरीथिंग वेरी minimal, and at the same time, which makes sense. Like, even if my thought behind all of this is that even if the client doesn't want to purchase right now, I just want them to, save us, like wish list us, or just ये सोचे कि अच्छा, oh, this is a good thing, like we can explore them sometime in the future. So that's my idea behind, emailing them, or uh, just reaching them out on WhatsApp or LinkedIn and all of that, just so that, I'm not going to bother you, I'm not going to spam you, just letting you know that, there's a company who does this. So anytime that you have a requirement, feel free to, ping us. And to be very honest, we've been lucky in the sense that HRs in other company, उन्होंने एक दूसरे को recommend किया है. And suppose we worked with the Dream 11, so Dream 11 के एक department ने अपने 10 department को recommend कर दिया. So that's how, like, word of mouth helped HRs, uh, you know, giving us references to other HRs and other companies. All of that worked really well. अगर हमारी बात आए, हमने बहुत कम मेहनत की है to, get
अच्छा.
those clients. Yeah, like, I still wouldn't know the right way or the exact way of how to land a client. I still don't know, to be very honest. We've been approached by the clients via email and Instagram the most, and that's how we've converted our journey. But मैं जाके कोई client लेकर आई हूँ, वो चीज बहुत कम हुई है. So it's still a learning process. I would love to do this properly. I do not know still how to do this properly. So yeah, I would say this is a learning journey still.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what's your current digital marketing strategy? Like आपने बताया कि you don't want to be just a Instagram thingy. You want it to be omni-channel. You want to have an omni-channel presence. So what's your current marketing
Yeah.
strategy?
All right. So this is something that we've struggled with from the start because none of us, like not me, not Shruti, we're not from the marketing background, right? So I racked my brains around it, like how do I do it? I don't understand it, and blah blah blah. And I have this thought, I know I'm gonna get this, but I have trust issues with tech people and marketing people, to be very honest. Just
Okay.
because I've had those experiences. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने बस सोच लिया और ऐसा कुछ है. Like the kind of experiences that I've had with people from this department, such agencies is not nice. So I know for a fact now, and this is what I tell my fellow entrepreneurs, do not trust anybody. And if you have to land onto some sort of, तुम सब कुछ नहीं कर सकते, right? At the end of the day, I cannot be an engineer and get a website done. Like I need to hire someone. But before I do that, I should know the concept behind it. I should know what I want. I should know how does this whole thing works. Like I necessarily do not have to, sit and write the code, but I should understand the process behind it. Same with marketing. Unless and until I don't understand how does this work, right? Like marketing is such a broad concept. Like you can pick up performance marketing, SEO marketing, content marketing, whatever, influencer marketing. It's a broad term. So you have to understand each and every concept to finally understand what works for your business model and to work with an agency as well, because you wouldn't want them to, like flesh on you, because that has happened with us in the past. Like, people have just, they've just misguided and, like it's a whole lot story, like another story. So for marketing, just very recent that I have gotten a hold of it. Earlier I didn't, to be very honest. So पहले ना मुझे पता था अगर कोई marketing मुझे आती है, personally आती है, तो वो मुझे content marketing आती है. So I know मुझे content कैसे बनाना है, मुझे content की समझ है, क्या trend चल रहा है, क्या नहीं चल रहा है, हम क्या नया कर सकते हैं और हम कैसे users मतलब followers बढ़ा सकते हैं Instagram पे, मुझे वो सब आता था. So शुरू दिन से हमारा focus content marketing पे रहा है that I have to put out a content every single day. If not every single day, we have to have some content. मेरे पास, you wouldn't believe, till date, each and every post that goes out on the good road is by me, because I'm that freaked out of, handing this over to someone else, because I know this is our bread and butter. यहीं से हमें काम आता है. तो मैं अभी भी I'm not okay with, DMs and comments reply. We have a team that does that. But I'm still very scared of giving access to someone on our Instagram page. And second of all, putting out a content, because that has to be by me. And if I have to do that, I have to know what's the trend. I have to know what's working, what's not working, and all of that. And thankfully, I understand that. That's what I've done my whole life. So, content marketing is something that is on top of our game. Like, we know, मुझे वो आता है, as a team हमें वो आता है, तो मुझे पता है कि हमें, this is something that we have to leverage, correct? Apart from that, SEO marketing is something that we have started mid of this year, and I'm loving it. Like this is also something that I get, I understand, and it took us so long to reach here because of various reasons that, like I think those issues are still there on the website. The changes that I would like to make still needs to be made. But apart from that, I'm really enjoying the whole process now. Like I understand the concept and it's fun. We've done performance marketing in the past. We gave it a shot for almost 6 to 8 months, but I didn't enjoy the process. I didn't enjoy working with that agency. So all in all, it wasn't a great experience. And I figured that performance marketing is not for us right now. So I would love to give it a try, maybe 1 or 2 years down the line. But right now, I'm really content with, you know, content and SEO marketing. Influencer marketing is also something which we do not want to do, because we're not a product, right? We're a gifting company. We're not a general e-commerce company wherein if an influencer even promotes it, it's about spending your money on someone else. It's not about spending your money on yourself. So even if a recommendation comes from any influencer, at the end of the day, you might follow the page, like you might follow our page, you might save some of our posts, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to convert into sale, which is fair, right? Because एवरी हमारे दिमाग में हर दिन तो कोई थॉट नहीं होता, अच्छा हमें आज ये गिफ्ट भेजना है, हमें वो गिफ्ट भेजना है. It's about spending money on someone else, right? So I feel performance marketing needs to be changed a lot to match our kind of business model as well. I think agencies, they don't have the understanding as of now in India as to कैसे अलग अलग बिजनेस मॉडल्स के साथ काम करना है. मुझे लग रहा है कि वही रट्टा मार लिया है, क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है, और बस उसको अप्लाई किए जा रहे हैं. सो यू वुडंट बिलीव दैट आवर journey involved us explaining them our business model literally every meeting, which happened every week. I'm like, why is it so difficult for you all to understand? We cannot have sales. We cannot put 10% discount, 15%. How does it? It doesn't make sense. We are not a generic e-commerce platform, because if I give 15% discount on my website, what do I offer to my corporate clients who are taking the same hamper in bulk? They'll be like 15% तो आप retail पे दे रहे हो, आप हमें कितना दोगे? So all in all, there are a lot of factors जो कि वो concept जो है वो apply नहीं हो सकता हमारे वाले e-commerce platform में. So I think I've just tried 2 agencies as of now. So I would not like to comment कि इंडिया में सभी agencies ऐसी हैं, but on a larger perspective, out of my experience, I would say that, marketing people, they need to refine their understanding and their logic. Like they need to take this as a creative challenge as to, how do we do this differently for a different business model, correct? I think this is something that's lagging majorly. So this is off my charts for now.
Wonderful. Okay, what's one common myth about your job or field?
Common myth about my job or the entire field?
The entire gifting field. That ये तो easy होगा.
Okay.
People might comment like this as well. No?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a myth, but people treat it like a कैसे समझाऊं, मतलब जैसे पड़ा होगा आपके पास सामान. So people fail to understand that gifting takes time. Deciding what to do and giving us time, because we are one of those companies who never say no to even 10 orders, right? If a client has 10 orders, and on top of that, we're not giving something off the shelf कि अच्छा आपके पास आप तो सिर्फ 10 ऑर्डर लेके आए हो, ये सामान पड़ा आप ये ले लो. No, we take the responsibility of getting everything customized if everything needs to be customized, right? So I'll just explain you how this industry works is the more the quantity, the better, correct? Because you will have better cost. जिसको भी customization करना है, vendors को, कारीगर्स को, सबको easy हो जाता है. I'm so sorry for this noise. Is this coming in the audio?
No, that's okay.
All right, great. So that's how this industry works, right? The more the quantity, the better. But we still, at the end of the day, we understand that there could be a startup like ours who just needs, say, 15 to 20 hampers. We can't say no to them. But the sad part is that people do not give us that time to make a hamper. Like imagine 20 to 30 things goes into a hamper box. उसके अंदर का बेस का कलर कौन सा होगा, because the entire concept has to match. 5 to 6 products. So sourcing those products, उसमें customization है या नहीं है, card designing, card printing, selecting the ribbon, selecting the kind of branding that you would want, managing the delivery chart. Say, if it's, so after COVID, It needs to be delivered pan India to individual addresses. So managing that. So it's a long journey, like, but people, they just think the biggest myth is, अच्छा हम आज बोलेंगे ये gift चाहिए तो हमें कल मिल जाएगा gift. So this is something that we're majorly struggling with, that, every hamper is curated from scratch. So it needs that kind of time. So what time, I think, is the biggest myth. Ki off the top shelf nahi hai. We're not an Archie's. Ki ye nikala product aur ye le lo. We are, we are curators. Yeah.
Right. Wonderful. So, till what time did you work alone, आपने और आपकी बहन ने, and when did you start hiring a team? Like, okay, this is getting over and above, so अब team hire करनी पड़ेगी. Like,
Yeah.
when?
All right. So this is something which is, I would say, my biggest struggle as an entrepreneur: hiring the right people for the team. अगर मेरे behalf पे कोई और कर दे ये काम, which I know there are recruiters, but we cannot afford them right now, this will be something that I will invest in from the start, because I have had nightmares about hiring people, and oh my god, the things that I've learned, the things that I've seen how people are is crazy. So I think, I don't know, where does this come from? I don't know if you call this business acumen, or you call this, being a gutsy person. I'm still trying to figure out. But there's this thing about me and Shruti wherein जो पैसे हम कमा रहे हैं ना, मेरा थॉट ये नहीं होता, एक्चुअली हम दोनों का थॉट ये नहीं होता कि वो पैसे मेरे को घर लेके जाना. मेरा थॉट ये होता है कि मैं उन पैसों से अपना बिजनेस और कैसे ग्रो करूं. So thankfully, both of us as co-founders, we have been on the same page from the start, that we know we cannot do all the work. Like, there has to be a team to do different kinds of work, right? So we didn't hire people immediately. So August, September, Shruti and I were working on our own fully. So the first festive season that we catered to was Rakhi, which was crazy. Both of us were working, doing everything. I was shooting content, I was editing content, I was uploading content, talking to clients, taking orders, talking to vendors, packaging, sending. So we're doing everything on our own. So the first Rakhi only picked up really well, and we knew that we can't keep on going like that, say for Diwali. Correct? Diwali is like, if we have 100 queries for Rakhi, we would have 500 queries for Diwali. It's practically impossible for us to do that just with the two of us. So we decided to start with internships, but paid internships. So I don't believe in unpaid internships as an entrepreneur. I'm like, I have major thoughts about it, that why do companies do unpaid internships? And my personal experiences, like when I did internships, were amazing. And so I was doing this internship at Scoop Brand Holdings, which was an event company. And it was a paid internship back in the day after I passed out. And they paid me 10,000 rupees per month for my internship. I was like, oh my God, this changed my life. Like, I was more motivated towards, putting in efforts. And I think companies, they don't understand the entire concept of internships. They think कि हमें बस निकालना है उस बंदे में से. नहीं, internship का पूरा मतलब है कि you have to teach the other person as much as possible. Like, they don't come with a baggage or a responsibility to fulfill a duty. They are here. It's your duty to teach them as much as possible. So I think we as a country, we fail to take internships, seriously and its truest form. But I, being so lucky to have had those internships in my building ages of the career, that I was very sure from the very start that even if I'm calling this an internship, it has to be a paid internship. So imagine, even when we didn't have much money to offer as salaries, we started with 10,000 per person per month internships, and we hired 3 people. So why internship? Because I didn't know कि मुझे कौन से job positions create करनी है. मुझे नहीं पता था कि लोग क्या क्या संभालेंगे, कौन से डिपार्टमेंट में जाएंगे, what are they going to do. So that was a learning journey for me as well, which is why I didn't want to start hiring people with a baggage that I also didn't understand. Correct. So, which is why we started with internships, so that it's a free flowing environment. We also get to know कि अच्छा काम कैसे करवाना है, कौन सा काम करवाना है, क्या departments create होंगे. So that's how we started with internships. We hired 3 people. Out of those 3, 2 stayed with us for 2 years, and one has just recently started her own line of business, and the other has plans to move to Dubai. So the relationships has been amazing. I would say we've been lucky in all sense to have such a great team from the start. And Ishan and Priyanka, they were so great that it just motivated us to hire more and more people. Then we hired. So imagine, after these 2 positions, when they joined full time, we divided their roles, obviously. Then the third hire of this company was a full time photographer, videographer, editor. You would believe it or not. Like, content making was so on my radar that this was my third hire. कि मुझे full time तो ये चाहिए. And Sahil came on board, and he's been with us for 1.5 years now. Like, he's still in the company, and that's how we've been rolling. The hiring journey has been crazy. It still is. Right now, we're a team of 10 to 12 people. I will have to count that. Most of them. The marketing team and the content team, they are remote. Everybody else, we work from the office. And the hiring journey is still a nightmare for me. Like, if I still have to do it, I would have, like, no kidding. Like, I'm not saying this just for saying it. I have massive anxiety when I have to cater to any hiring process, because I think it's very underrated. Like, hiring के बारे में और बात होनी चाहिए. Hiring के बारे में, like, the concepts have to be cleared. And I would say that again, I might get a lot of bashing for this, but this new generation of people who are entering their career, uh, dude, massive issues with them. Yeah, like, बहुत professionalism, बहुत teaching की जरूरत है. Like, now people think that, like, it's my personal opinion that this generation might have this idea that making money is very easy, getting famous is very easy. So that lack of professionalism is fully, like, it's ruining the entire experience of hiring and everything for me. So this is something that I have jitters about. Like, as an entrepreneur, this is one thing I hate doing. So yeah.
काफी सारे thought process चलती है regarding that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So do you focus on your mental health?
Absolutely. So earlier I didn't. Earlier, I just kept it. I kept ignoring it, because I thought that if I'm running a business, I would have constant stress. Like, there's no way I cannot have stress. किसी दिन अगर बहुत सारे orders हैं, तो अब stress हो गया है कि कैसे इन orders को complete करेंगे, time से होगा नहीं होगा, कुछ गड़बड़ ना हो जाए. और जब operations सही चल रहा है, तो अरे orders क्यों नहीं आ रहे हैं. So earlier I used to think that stress business में constant रहेगा, which was a wrong thing. Like, अगर stress constant रहेगा, तो I needed to learn how to manage stress better, which I didn't. And now I've landed a place that I am on continuous therapy, and I obviously I take medications as prescribed. So definitely my sleep. Earlier I used to think, whatever happens, at the end of the day, I'm gonna sleep like a baby, because that was the case. Like, my dad is also like that. So we do not have sleep issues in our family, right? Like, he also runs his business, massive stress, like, you can see it on his face and all of that. But at the end of the day, he sleeps really well. And I thought I'm also like that. Like, I'm going to sleep really well. I wouldn't have any issues, but no, I just cannot sleep. So there are days when, like, I haven't slept 2 days in a row. And third day, I'm just praying to God that, please, I hope I sleep tonight. So, but I've gotten better for sure. So mental health is something which is on the top of my list this year. Like, because I have seen mental health taking a toll on my physical health. Like I've lost massive weight. Like I would just randomly, like I'm doing nothing. I'm not working out. I'm not eating. Like I'm not eating healthy. I'm eating shit. Why am I losing weight? So all of this, you start figuring out in a while that वो जो पहले जो stress अच्छा लगता है ना वो बाद में वो इतना like I have white hair now. So all of that you get to see on your physical self, like why all of that has happened. So mental health is my top priority. I'm doing things to take care of myself and my personal growth. So I'm doing those bunch of things like indulging into hobbies, going regularly for therapy, and taking out time for myself. So I have this D&D feature on my phone now. So it has changed my life because unknowingly you would open WhatsApp, unknowingly you would open your emails and all of that. So this D&D thing and not having any notifications after a while, it's just changed my life tremendously. Because पहले ना बहुत cool लगता था कि अरे I'm working late in the night, I'm hustling and all of that. It doesn't make sense after a while. I don't want to lead that life. Like it's been a long journey with video production and starting the good road. I'm like, I don't want to do this. It's fine. Ho gayi hai hustling, and it's not worth it. Like I wish I knew all of this earlier, and I would have tackled it better in those days. But I'm glad that I have a hold of it now, and yeah. So
That's
mental
good.
health is, yeah.
That's good to hear. I've been there doing that. Actually, I haven't slept for the last 2 days myself because okay, I have this Diwali pressure coming up. Diwali pe launch karna like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And as much as we think कि अरे it's not a stress, अरे हो जाएगा, but दिमाग शांति नहीं होता है. Like
Right.
you don't have the control over it.
It's a rabbit hole. You keep going down, 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 down.
Yes,
It never ends.
yes. So true, so true.
Wonderful. Okay, so what is your definition of success?
Oh, all right. So this has changed with time. Earlier, success for me was, having tons of money and, having a huge ass team, huge ass office, getting recognized everywhere, getting recognized for, like, with the company. It's completely changed now. For me, success is uh, making as much money as you deserve. अगर तुम्हारे पास उतना सेटअप ही नहीं है to cater to 5,000 orders a year, why would you even want 5,000 orders a year? How will you fulfill it? So for me, success, so currently as a company, if we can cater to 5,000 orders a year, which we are capable of, that's success for me. I would not aim for, you know, uh, getting 10,000 orders this year because I know मेरे पास bandwidth ही नहीं है. So for me, success is having as much money as I deserve. Like by deserve, I mean I've put in the efforts, I've created the sort of setup and team. तो मुझे उतने clients और उतने orders मिल रहे हैं. I'm extremely happy. Second is having peace of mind. Like, peace of mind in the sense that because nothing is ever enough, correct? If I have to think about 2 years ago, I was like, oh my God, if I get, this client, if I get so and so order, like I'll be set, I'll be so happy. It just keeps on changing. Like currently, if I'm catering to 60 clients, it's not enough for me. I want more. So peace of mind is really important. To be content with what I have is, like I should I should be proud of what I'm doing at every step of the way, given I have 10 clients or 60 clients. Abhi meri journey mein 60 clients hona is a big deal. So I should be happy about it and not, look at some other company. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing that. Let me do that. I think I've changed this. I think this happens with age for sure. I'm at that stage in my life where I'm not chasing those superficial things. I'm holding myself accountable for whatever I'm getting. Uh, being happy with what I have accomplished, like what I've created, having a team, having an office, having all of these clients, and having so much work to do. Earlier, we were like, "Arey, I'm so busy. I have so much work." No, I'm grateful to be busy now. I'm grateful to have work. So my idea of success has changed in the sense that I am not chasing someone else's journey. I'm not chasing fame. I'm not chasing to be like some other company. Earlier I used to stress about, oh, why aren't we landing an investor? I don't want an investor now. Like, I don't, whatever will happen, it will happen with time. Like that is what has happened with the Good Road. We've just gone with the flow, and like such amazing things have happened. Like you asked me, I don't even know how to land a client. Everything has happened on its own. So I just want to be grateful for whatever has happened, will happen, believe on the journey that we're on, holding ourselves accountable, and having a great time with my friends and family. I think like I keep family way above than I did earlier, and peace of mind. So that's success for me. I'm not chasing those क्या बोलेंगे उसको, मुझे नहीं बनना है फोर्ब्स 30 under 30. Like that's not success for me anymore, which was earlier, but it's not for me now. Like I'm very to be very very content with where I am, to be very happy with what I've created is success for me.
Wonderfully said. Wonderfully said. Okay, last two questions since we are already overshot on time. According to you, what is the perfect startup recipe?
All right. So first of all, to be very passionate, truly passionate about the idea, and not doing it just for the sake of it कि अच्छा ये lacking है तो चलो कर लेते हैं, because वो lack में ना आपको समझ नहीं आएगा कि आप करना चाहते भी हो वो या नहीं at the end of the day. So startup involves a lot of mehnat, a lot, like it's like raising your own child, right? So thoda sa bhi kuch ho jata hai na, you feel really bad, like it converts into stress. So मैं नहीं चाहती कि 2 साल बाद मुझे लगे कि अरे ये काम बोरिंग है, मजा नहीं आ रहा है इसको करने में. इसीलिए to be very sure from the start that you are passionate about this idea. Second is to study the market, that is it even relevant? Just because the idea is cool in your head doesn't mean that people really need it, right? Like we don't need an app for literally everything. Like you have to be sure that is it even worth the mehnat that you put in, and not just it's not just a cool idea. Third would be invest the money, like invest time and money. People think कि हम घर बैठे बैठे like ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा. घर बैठे हो जाएगा, बट मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी यार. मतलब और मेहनत होती है in every sense. At the right time you have to put in the right kind of money, in the sense that suppose say if you are a content creator, like you want to become an influencer or a big YouTuber or whatever, eventually you have to invest in a good camera gear, right? You have to invest in good editing skills or whatever. Like you have to keep growing with time. So I think that's what people don't understand, that स्टार्टअप सिर्फ दूसरे के इन्वेस्टर के पैसे से नहीं बनेगा. स्टार्टअप खुद के पैसे या खुद की मेहनत से भी शुरू तो करना पड़ेगा. सो इनिशियल जो रिक्वायरमेंट होती है दैट हैज टू बी लाइक यू हैव टू हैव द गट्स यार कि मेरे को ये बंदा हायर करना है, मेरे बहुत पैसे लगेंगे साल में, बट करना है. सो I think people don't understand investing that money of the business again in the business. They feel कि अच्छा आ रहा है तो निकाल लो, because उससे ना तुम grow ही नहीं करोगे आगे, and it'll be like a barrier, and then you will just want कि अच्छा कोई investor आ जाए और invest कर दे. Like हमें पता होना चाहिए ना कि कितनी मेहनत लगती है, खुद के पैसे लगे हुए हैं किसी चीज में. So I think that's something that's really important. And apart from that, yes, like on some days you have to push yourself when you are at your lowest. But I think I'm really lucky that I have my sister who's a business partner with me. So it doesn't make sense for everybody, but I do say that it's great to have a co-founder. It's just great, because on some days when you're on your lowest and you're not finding that motivation, like literally how many times does it happen with entrepreneurs ki अरे मुझे नहीं करना है ये, why can't I just take up a simple job, why do I have to think about everything, it's so stressful, right? So on those days somehow I'm really grateful for a co-founder because she's there to pick me up, and on her days I'm there to pick her up. So I know this is something that you cannot think of from the start. You can be a one-man show, but if possible, do have co-founders in your team, because जो काम तुम अकेले करोगे ना वो दो बंदे के साथ it'll be more fun and much more easier. Like, we realized this eventually that, oh, like I fell down at this point, or I had to take leave at this point, and there was someone else to take care of it with the same passion. Like, a hired person would not do it with the same passion, but a co-founder would do it with the same passion. So yeah, these are the 5 things that you could think of before, like while you're at your journey of doing a startup.
Amazing, amazing. And how can our listeners know more about you, more about your work? On what all platforms are you active?
All right, so we are majorly active on Instagram, full on active on Instagram. So you can find us on Instagram at the good road with a double D at the end. So that's the good road. That's where we are full on active. But apart from that, the other platforms are Pinterest, YouTube, Pinterest, YouTube. We have a WhatsApp number, but I'm not sure if people would want to be a part of our WhatsApp list. But you could be part of our email list. We do try and send out, fun emails. And yeah, it's not very spam like. Like, it'll be something which is pleasing to the eye or something which is good to read. So yeah, that is it.
Wonderful. And you are quite active on LinkedIn, right?
Oh yes, how can I forget that? I'm quite active on LinkedIn. Yeah. So that's me personally. So personally, I'm very active on LinkedIn. Also on Instagram. My personal Instagram also, I'm pretty active. So there eventually, so earlier I was all about I was talking about travel on my personal Instagram. But now that journey has grown into me talking about my entrepreneurial journey as well. So yeah, that could be another platform that, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Shweta. It was a lovely talk, and we covered quite a lot of things, and you have shared your thoughts. Any last comments you would like to add on to this?
No, I think I've talked a lot. So I don't know how this podcast is going to pan out, because now if I have to take a step back and realize, I think I've done a lot of talking. I do hope all of this makes sense and it doesn't sound like it was all blabbering. But at the end of the day, I'm really thankful to you for reaching out, because I'm someone who's very opinionated about things, and it doesn't mean those opinions have to come from a bad place. All of that comes from a place of experience that I've gained with 7-8 years of you know running multiple businesses. And at the same time, I'm someone who's always there to pass on my say experience or my contacts or whatever that could help in starting their journey or in between their business journey. So I'm really thankful to you for giving my opinions a voice. I hope this reaches to a lot of people, and we could help fellow entrepreneurs
Definitely, definitely.
some
That's
way.
the plan. That's the plan. Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much for your time, Shweta.
Thank you, Ayush. Thank you.